Hello, darlings! One of the lead producers for Dragon Age 4 gave a conference. There are some rather interesting motion capture screenshots to analyze, plus some nice little tidbits of information regarding Dragon Age 4 and its production. I have to give credit to @Felasan_Lives, who found the English dubbed version, and also credit to @GilDirthalan, who tweeted it. So this was at the Brazil Big Festival 2021 with Sila Costa, who spoke about Dragon Age 4. He worked on Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3, Inquisition, Mass Effect Andromeda, and Anthem as producer on some of those, and is lead producer for Dragon Age 4. His boss is Christian Daly. So right now, Dragon Age is in the production phase. It was previously in pre-production, and it's been in production for a while. So this means they're developing and implementing the content and the systems and doing all the art and all the artsy acting stuff. And he spoke about the challenges of developing a AAA game during the pandemic, and BioWare's priority at the start of everything was to enable everyone to be able to work remotely and tend to their needs. So BioWare was flexible around working hours and deadlines and such. If you're a programmer, you might find some of the information interesting. He spoke about like the builds and codes and stuff like that. I tried to enhance this image of the storyboarding. I tried to sharpen it more and enlarge it, but I wasn't able to get a clear picture of the screenshot to try to decipher what they were storyboarding. So we have screenshots of motion capture and performance capture, which basically is with all the cameras on the body to capture the movements, the voices, the facial expressions, those types of things. I interpret the order of these screenshots as either order, though the one that was shown first is the one where the guy is holding what at first appears to be an orb. My initial thought, as well as some of other people's on Twitter, was, is this soulless? The way he's leaning and holding, like, maybe? But I actually think that it's not an orb. It has a face that looks like a skull face. So I believe it's a prop to represent a skull, and that we might be looking at someone who is not soulless. I believe the other character with the two daggers is the Dragon Age 4 protagonist. So either we arrive and startle whoever is there with their weapons drawn and then end up in conversation with that person, or we arrive, we're in the conversation with that person, and we deem them a threat, and then draw our weapons. I see it both ways, but I'm more leaning towards we arrive, we have our weapons, and then we end up in conversation with the person. The screenshot with the defensive pose makes me think of, don't shoot, don't shoot. First let me impress you with my suave demeanor. Like, seriously. So if the person is holding a skull, who could it be? Well, I'm thinking either an Antivan Crow or a Mortalitasi necromancer mage from Navarra. I think this is part of a recruitment mission, a future companion, upon meeting them and how we recruit them. If it's an Antivan Crow, it could be Lucanus de la Morte or someone else. Antivan Crow's masks are made like giant crow skulls, so it could be. And for such an assassin to hold a human skull isn't that far of a stretch, but I'm leaning more and more towards the wall towards thinking it's a Mortalitasi necromancer mage from Navarra, from the Grand Necropolis, because there are skulls at the ready everywhere around the Grand Necropolis. It could also, if not directly a Mortalitasi mage, be someone associated to them, like Audric. I mean, the skull fits, not that he's holding his own skull, but you know what I mean. Either way, I'm very excited to encounter this character, whether it's an Antivan Crow or Mortalitasi. I think it could be soulless, but the face on the object is is too much skull-like. I don't think it's an orb, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Scylla Costa also spoke how he can't say many details yet, and they're not throwing out too many details yet. They'll have more for us later. He said that out of the 4 launched so far, once this one is launched, out of the 4 that will be launched, Dragon Age 4 will be the best of the 4. So I'm pretty excited about that. If it's the best of the 4 launched, and the way it's a dubbed translation, but if it's correctly translation and in the sense of it's the best of the 4 launched, that doesn't necessarily mean that Dragon Age 4 is the last Dragon Age installment. It's just so far the best one. There might be more Dragon Age. I mean, it wouldn't make sense. There's so much lore, there's so much to put in each game. I don't think it can conclude just in one more, personally. Let me know your thoughts too regarding this. Scylla Costa mentioned that productivity went down a bit at the beginning of the pandemic. They had to adjust and everything. But now that everyone is pretty much back and running and a new routine has been set in, they're able to estimate when the next deadlines are going to be, because it's going to be calculated a bit differently than it used to be given the new circumstances. But once they start estimating dates amongst themselves, estimating dates, for example, when they're going to drop characters to let us know skill trees, hint hint, nudge nudge, wink wink, I'd like that soon if it's ready, and classes and origin stuff. When they have a release date, they will use their new way of calculating. But he didn't explain exactly what that new way of calculating is. So hopefully the dates that they give us for certain things that we can expect in the future, once they start doing that, hopefully that will be pretty accurate. I'd rather they take more time to calculate and estimate a bit longer than delay every time, I'd rather they say a lengthier time and then the objectives sooner, that's a nice treat, whatever that is. And that's the information from this Brazil big festival with Scylla Costa. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you think, who you think the character is in the motion capture, what you think of the details and such. I'm really excited about this and to hear all this, and I'm really excited to see more. Like this video if you like it, subscribe to be Jimmy approved, and I'll see you all soon. Masaranas. If you're new here and you like my content, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications. Like it if you like it, for the like it if you like it dance. You can also follow my website, binkyproductions.com, where I post everything from all my channels. Exclusive! If you want to support me, consider buying my book, Stardust Destinies 1, Variant Facing, Magic, Dragons, Fantasy, all relevant links below. Thank you so much for your time. Your continued viewership is very much appreciated. Masaranas.